Okay, bolt right now. And one enemy leaves our area. Sweet. What's up, guys? It's Kosh, and today we're doing Mind Over Magic Beginner's Guide. So yeah, the game is a bit confusing, tutorials are lacking, and I will teach you how to be more efficient in the game and how things work. So right, I've been in the game for 33 days already. It's been a while. And my base is still a mess, and I will tell you how to make things better for you so you won't have issues that I had during the gameplay. First thing I want to talk about is the amount of stuff that you will harvest, and when you harvest that, most of the stuff will stay on the ground, and you can imagine that it's pretty annoying, right? That you can pick it up, then the rain comes and it's being destroyed. So there is an easy way how to fix that. First of all, you will need to have some chests in your base. Later on you would like to get a dedicated chest for the specific rooms with proper permissions, but right now I'm too lazy for that. So I just make some chests in my mana room, in my kitchen area, and in my workshop basically. And then for the research you would like to go for this as soon as possible, creepiest quilting. And that will allow you to create the quilted guys that will do hole, and this is really useful. And the sweep one is useful as well. That will prevent your base from being dirty, and those carry guys are very powerful because all they do is carry things around, and you will have to carry a lot of things around. So they help. They have been created in the spindle when it's available, and you create some orders here. Let's create the recycled quilt sweeper as well. And I like to do it a lot. We have infinite for the recycled one when they're gone, and then we keep up the quilted carrier do until X. That means that you will have them being constructed before they will reach specific amount. We have one carrier, 3 carriers and 1 sweeper, and you can adjust those numbers as you need to. Like if you need to carry more stuff and your guys aren't keeping up, you can increase this number and more of those will be created. But the interesting thing about those guys that they expire. So yeah, we can take a look at this guy, and he will last for 15.9 hours only, and after that he will disappear. So you will have to repeat the process of creating them, so make sure that you got the resources that you need to create them. And that's Sinew and Viscera. In order to get those resources infinite time, in order to make sure that you have those resources, you either have to massacre some rats, I'm not sure where they are, or you can have that little bubble thingy here, and you can create sinew, viscera, and ectoplasm from the carcasses and resources. I have it as well on do until X, and I have 25, 40, and 25 for each of those. But they require resources. If you don't have those resources, they will idle. For the plants, I have this small garden here that's being attended manually, and that allows me to create a lot of the resources that I need without actually wandering around and waiting for them to grow. So doing some research in that area is really useful. Let's actually hunt some rats right now. So yeah, going for domesticated godberries will be incredibly important because that will allow you to clear the fog easier. And then you can go for a bit more of the research over here to have more plants available. Keep in mind that not all the plants in that research tree. We have this light tree, and we get the ice flower and phoenix keys over here. Those are very important plants, especially the phoenix keys. It's a core for all the torches. Ice thing is core to all the windows. So you will need those quite a lot, and make sure to get them when you can, so they will grow next to your base, easier to harvest, and you will get the steady inflow of those. So yeah, you already guessed that for the crafting we would like to have the proper priorities and proper orders. I do most of the crafting that I need all the time, like food for example, until you have special amount, and it's nice to have some of that stored just in case. For the food, I use bitter rice right now. That's a better option than getting the carcass stew. It's getting way lower resolve reduction. But I'm researching, I actually researched the better meals right now. They will require more resources, but they will be even better. So slop doesn't have any reduction, and we can create it, no problem. And honeyed gruel will give us higher conviction when eaten, so they are even better. When you add new stuff for the crafting, you would like to put it, well, based on the priority, so the priority goes from the top to the bottom, and that's how the stuff is being produced. For example, for me, this is the most important one, and do until we have, let's say, 15 of those, no, 20. And then we'll have those as a backup. Do until you have 15 of those. That way you will have that food available all the time, although the higher tier food will require higher amount of fire skill. That's 3. We don't have those mages available yet, so for some time you will have to deal with the lower tier stuff. By the way, oh, it's closed already. Let's make the Superior Repel Fog ritual then. Oof, that's a lot of mages that we need. Yeah, guys, those rituals that we are doing to repel fog are really important. You can find all the rituals in this book. The normal one is okay as well, but the higher tier one is so much better. The price will get higher as the distance will go higher, and you will get additional requirements. But yeah, make sure that it's away from your base. Somewhere around here is the maximum as you can get to your base at the early game, because otherwise you might have some hiccups here and there and screw up. And it's a good idea to farm the resources that are needed for those rituals and have some extra in the storage, just in case if you will need to do something urgently. So yeah, always get those things and plan those plans that you can get in order to make sure that you can do the ritual at any moment. Okay, we are done with the ritual, and something new happened. We unlocked a lot of areas, and now we got the battle awaits. Animus Crystal. The hell is that? Battle enemies to obtain valuable stuff, but it's 3 skulls. It's really tough. Never had this one before. That's scary. But what I wanted to show you, that after some distance from your base, your biome changes. So this one is easily acceptable, and then bam, you got the switch in the biome and you get the forest biome, which is way tougher. You get your normal plants here, but at the same time you start getting something more rare. So for example, this runewood tree will give you higher tier of resources, but will require higher skill to chop. So you will need to get students and staff, well, staff mostly, with higher skill cap in order to make use of that area on the right or on the left. If you're just early game and you want something specific, you would like to actually rush a bit. Once you unlock this area, harvest the resources that you have next to it. Well, I mean, right now we can do that, but you know what I mean. Before it will go back to your base and consume them, so you will make use of more stuff around you. Right now I want to use the fractal mold because I don't really use it anywhere. And some gloomy crystals. Let's go. By the way, guys, if you don't know, you can double click on the item and that will select all the items of the same type on your screen. So if you want to pick all those shrooms, we can just double click it and press G to gather, and that will automatically assign gathering task to gather everything that you need. Moreover, you can select this gather tool and manually mark every resource that you want to gather without clicking too many times, so it might be convenient for you. So that should cover the basics for the survival and the fog. Now you know how to stay away from that. Now let's talk about the staff and the students. Over here we got the student summoner. We can summon different types of students, but we need wands for that. Wands can be constructed in the wand workshop and in the wand shaper. You don't need workshop for that. And honestly, at first I thought that I want only the highest tier wands, but that's false. You need at the same time the lowest and the highest tier wands at the same time. Yeah, right now I create them manually, but later on when I will get the better storage materials and create the chest for wands, I would like to have at least one of each wand available at all times. Why? Because that way I can summon whoever I want. So the idea is that when your summon students, they stay at your academy, they work, they study mostly, and when they're ready to graduate, you can graduate them and will get the rewards for that. The more of those trials and medallions they have, the more will be your reward. So try to make them happy and give them the bonuses that they need, but it's not that crazy important. So you will need the ritual sigil in order to do the ritual of graduation. And you can also hire staff and make sure that the students you want to hire are not graduated, otherwise you won't be able to get them back. So for the hire staff, you would like to get some people here, that's just the bonuses for you. So for hiring, you can select one of the students, put him over here, and you will need some scrolls for that. The higher amount of staff you have, the more amount of scrolls you will need. So I'll give you a hint how to avoid it a bit later. And you can assign those officiants here. Those guys will just get bonus to conviction for attending the class, and the guys who won't attend, I think they will be left out like this one, and they will get negative conviction. So make sure not to do those too often if you don't have space for everyone, and or make sure that you get good conviction recovery tools in your school. As for the graduation, you get only one fella who will attend the ritual, and you can graduate up to 4 students at the same time. You don't have to graduate everyone at the same time. You can get 1, 2, 3, or 4, and I honestly prefer to get them in packs of 4, study them, and then get them away from the school, because when you graduate your students, you will get the scrolls that are required for the research over here and for hiring the staff. So in order to get more staff, you will need those scrolls. So adept ones will be awarded for tier 1 ones, so the first ones, and 7 scrolls will be awarded for tier 3 and 2 ones, so advanced ones. And even though you are ready to produce tier 2 ones and everything, you will still need the basic scrolls as well. So make sure that you get those tier 1 wand users from time to time in order to graduate them later and get the resources. So yeah, that's why you want to produce those wands as well. As for the students, you can check the schedule in order to figure out who does what. And most of the time, students study and don't do that much, but what's cool that during those tasks hours, your students actually work with you, and their tasks are very limited. So mostly they can tend, destroy, repair, clean, ward, haul, and charge, and beast care, so not that crazy. Most important here is haul early game, because that will allow them to carry things that you gather before the rain comes, so you won't destroy all your stuff. So yeah, early game before you unlock those auto carry monsters, whoever they're called, I forgot, students can be your best for that. Since we're here in the priority screen, some characters are better at some tasks than others. You can point over each of those tasks and you will see which attribute they need in order to perform it better. Basically what that means that they will need the lower amount of time to finish the task. So for chopping trees, for example, if you get a skill of 3, this character will chop the trees 3 times faster than the one with the level 1 skill. And that's why you would like to prioritize tasks for your staff that have the higher skill at something, and you actually would like to get one of, oh my god, mana lantern broken. Those spectral crows are destroying everything here. So yeah, let's talk a bit about those guys, because they are really annoying, and I was surprised at first. When you kill crows that are in their crow nest, right? Where are they? There we go. There is a crow corpse in the crow nest that we destroyed in order to get the resources. You can either destroy it or leave it. If you leave it, it will spawn the spectral crow at night, and those guys will come to your base to destroy stuff. So after you hunting the crows, you can either destroy the corpse or use it in order to transform it into something else, but that might require the research. That's a second sight and brains, but this requires scrolls that we don't have, so that's why you want to have different types of students everywhere. Adept scrolls will be awarded for students, and arcane scroll will be awarded for exploring the Underschool. Let's talk about that right now. So once you will finish the ritual of unlocking Underschool, which is actually pretty easy and it won't harm you in any way, you will get opportunity to go underground and explore. This area is very random. You will have to fight enemies with your guys, and you can get your guys killed here. Usually the difficulty of the fight is marked with the schools amount, but sometimes it's a bit different. Different enemies have different abilities, and you got different rooms here that do different stuff. Honestly, so far they don't do that much. Oh, nice, they have stone here that we can harvest. And some of the rooms have this Underschool ward that have to be charged from time to time, otherwise this area will be filled with fog and you will have to go through it again. Let's explore the fungal cavern right now, and I'll talk a bit about the combat and Underschool exploration. So, each school of magic have their own skills and abilities. I would advise having at least one earth mage, because earth is tanking. We have this one guy over there, and Others are pretty random. I'm not sure who is the healer. If you want to check the skills of your characters, you can just click them and go to Magic and Combat, and here you can read about their skills, so you will know who to take with you on the fight. Basically, the mages want to be in the back line because that skill Torrent deals additional damage when they are attacking from the back row, and make sure that have enough HP, mana, and as much power as possible. Power will allow them to get extra damage to each attack, and here you get a death save. This is important, guys. Make sure that the guys you are sending in have at least 1 death saves. Otherwise, like this Boris over here, if he will die, I think he will die for sure. How do you get death saves? Before hiring your guys, get more trials and medallions for them. Each of those will give them 1 additional death save. So when they will be defeated in combat, they will not die. Instead of that, they will have a chance to recover. So yeah, let's take Dale with us. Who's this? Is it Water? Not a good place. Lightning will be in front. Those 2 guys will be in the back. You can also take students with you, but I would advise to let them train first to become strong. Otherwise, they might be defeated pretty fast. Moreover, some of them might have those tasks that they need to do in order to get additional medallions and medals. So that might be really important. Moreover, you can bring supplies with you. Some of those potions will heal you, so if you are venturing into something dangerous, make sure that you have some stuff with you that will help. I usually don't take anything yet, but I'm not that far into the dungeon exploration. And honestly, you would like to do a lot of dungeon exploration. This is a basic game mechanic. That's what you would like to do in this game. So yeah, also make sure that they will recover mana before going into the adventure, otherwise it might end badly. So here's our team assembling at the entrance, and let's go into the fight. So we got 3 enemies here, and I'm not sure what do they do. You can't really figure out what the enemies do. There are no hints, so you gotta learn and remember, because you will face them later again. On the left, you can see the current turn and sequence of actions of your characters. On the right, you will see the next turn. Your characters can cast different spells. Soak, for example, will slow 1 enemy down. It won't really help us right now, but I want to show you how it works. So bam, this one is Soak, and as you can see, his turn moved to the very back. Now we're using our Earth guy, and he got Earth armor. That will give him 120 armor and town, so the enemies will attack him instead of someone else. That means less health damage to everyone else, and he won't take damage because of the armor. Let's use that. Bam. I really advise you guys to take Earth guys with you. I think I tried all the different skills and schools. I like the Lightning. Lightning seems to be a really good spell because it can regain mana and gain speed to your guys. But in terms of the damage, I haven't decided who I like the most right now, so I'm just testing those things out yet. I personally would advise focus firing 1 enemy when you are attacking the enemies, so you will get less enemies to fight. And obviously Torrent, if you don't want to soak anyone, will be the best option for you, because it will give you more damage. Bam, there we go. Armor worked, and those guys are single target damage, and that means that we can easily fight them without kind of suffering the consequences, because we got the tank who can cast more of that armor on him and will not take any damage. So even right now at the second turn we got 62 armor and we got 120 at the start, so we can use offensive spell right now to do a bit more DPS to the enemies. Okay, bolt right now, and 1 enemy leaves our area. Sweet. And just like that you defeat the enemies, and you gotta learn it by yourself by exploring. I don't want to spoil it to you guys, but yeah, be careful. Even if someone dies, it's not a big issue, because in this game the dead guys can still serve you. We'll talk about that in a second after the combat, because I lost 1 student once. That was really sad, and yeah, I was really... Oh, I didn't knew that. So you can make more armor than your skill cap, so you can just stack it on top of each other. That's great. And as you can see, like, some spells can attack any target, even the backline. Some of those attack only front targets, so you might want to make a build that will focus on the backline, so you will take out the enemy's strongest enemies. And yeah, make sure that you will not run out of mana. Actually, recharges 30 mana, and it costs 30 mana, so it's not as efficient as you might think. But yeah, we are now getting pretty low on that. That's why you would like to take potions with you if you're not sure what you're doing. That way you will not fail your run because of the lack of the mana. Yeah, look at that, it stacks. That's great. So you can stack a lot of the defense and be safe, especially if you have single target enemies. Some enemies do AoE damage. Now those guys are tough and they are really annoying. They can do quite a lot of DPS and they actually decimated my group once. So yeah. So we won, and here after fighting and clearing the room you will get the rewards. We didn't get anything crazy good here, but we are here for arcane scrolls mostly. There we go. This room is clear. And we got that stuff on the ground. We got some reds that we can hunt. And just like that, you will explore more and more rooms and expand your Underschool. After the fight, your students and staff who took damage need medical beds to rest. When they are here and chilling, you can get some rituals here. You can make a full heal that will allow them to heal faster. But I personally don't do that much unless they are really injured seriously. My guys are injured just a bit, so they will be okay. And I promise you to tell you about the dead guys. That's my dead student over here. They got their grave now, and they actually produce Hallowly Bloom, which are being used in the recipes later. I'm not sure if I ever collected that, but yeah. They are actually useful. Moreover, as you do more research, you will be able to get the better graves, Wandering Mage's grave, that will allow you to get the spirit that will scout the fog and bring back smoke pearls. So they will also give you additional materials. And later on you will unlock even tougher graves with additional features, so dead guys will be actually useful to you. If you do not bury the dead though, when your people will pass by the corpse, they will lower their resolve and conviction, whatever it's called, so they will be unhappy basically, and you don't want that. If you got issue like I do over here, we don't get the carrots and nobody wanna create it, you can increase the priority of the area and then of the task or anything, and then people will prioritize that over everything else and will start working on the thing that you want them to work on. That will be really convenient for stuff that you need urgently, for example, hunting the spirits or creating those carriers, because without them, basically my base will be paralyzed. We need that. Like this Underschool ward right now is not being tended to, and it will respawn monsters, and we need to prioritize it, so guys will go there and refill the wand here. Come on, the ward, there we go, now it's better. So let's get it back to task 3, and there we go. It's being worked on to create those carriers and everyone, and as you progress the game you will get more and more of those guys doing even more important things like harvesting resources and that kind of stuff. So later on they will become even more useful than they are right now. Now let's talk about why I said that you don't want to rebuild your base early on. Base building guide, right? A bit of that. First of all, you would like to know what room types do you have. Here you get the guide to that, and they are very sophisticated. I tried to understand it by like before creating everything, but it's really hard. So don't worry if you fail something early on. It's okay. The bonuses that the rooms give you early on are not that crazy. They're giving 25-50% bonuses. What I would advise is to create a mess hall in order for people to get conviction while eating. That's for the students. For everyone else, like you need higher luxury or something, so it's a bit more complicated. Dormitory here is for the students as well, so they sleep there, they will be happier. And here we get auxiliary bedroom for our staff, so conviction to sleepers. That's also good. You would like to have some ways to recover conviction. Scullery is just like a small kitchen. You just need, in order to do that, it have to be grounded, means on the floor, and have one cooking station. That's what we have over here. I'm trying to make it into a kitchen, but we are not ready for that yet. We need more different stuff for it. So yeah, you can see all the requirements here, and you can quite, well, not really quite easily, it will take some time and effort, but you can rebuild your base and you will return all the items, all the resources you've spent for building stuff up. But it's really annoying and it's really tiresome, and you will paralyze your base if you would like to rebuild it from the ground. So for example, if I would like to rebuild some of this area, everything around here will not work for a while. At least not work properly. So I decided to wait till one specific research. This one, Foundation. Permanent construction block that extends where you can build your school and support walls. Cannot be demolished. When you will unlock this, and we need to go do some dungeons for that, you will be able to place more of the foundations on the ground and expand your base all the way to the left and to the right, and then it will get wider. You can actually plan it better, you can make wings and everything, because right now it's way too narrow. Moreover, most of the rooms needs to be narrow, so they have to be lofted. And lofted means that it have to be taller than it is wide. How you can figure that out? You make it as wide as you need, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiles, right? And if you want it to be lofted, calculate the amount of walls that you need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That makes it lofted already. But the problem is that when you have something like this, with the one room that's higher than the rest of the stuff, it's getting a bit messy really fast, so yeah, it's hard. And different rooms will have different requirements later, so I will need to make specific guide for it later when I will expand. Because some of those need to be private, that means that they have to be only with the one entrance. Some of those have to be with the roof. I don't have roof here, I already prepared for expansion. And all that stuff, so yeah, it's a bit sophisticated, and in order to figure out what have to be placed where, you will need more time, and while you'll be figuring that out, a lot of time will pass, so you would just like to play the game normally at start, and then be really effective. If you want to be like top-notch in terms of the room building, wait for my base building guide for this game. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss that, and let me know in the comments if you want that. Don't forget to like the video. So I will make one. I'm just waiting for that research to make it wider. Actually, I will make first guide on this small, tiny base, narrow one, so newer players can use it, and then we'll continue it with the wider base. But yeah, right now, even I'm a bit confused with that, because I have some weird stuff here. Oh yeah, since we're talking about the base building, important aspect is filth. So when rooms are dirty, they will spawn slimes that are doing annoying things. Ooze. Those guys are wandering around and destroying furniture, and you have to repair it after that. Annoying. And the lighting. Lighting is really important, because if you have low lighting in the rooms, it will spawn a void shroom. By default, it's not that bad, it's nice, but once one of your students or staff will go through it, it will drain its mana, and after that they will get lower conviction for a while. Do we have anyone being drained? No, we didn't have that for a while, so we're good. But it can happen to anyone, and honestly, it's a bit annoying. As you can see, guys, 4 of our students are ready to graduate, and let's do that, because I don't really need those guys. I need tier 2 users right now, so let's add those guys here for graduation. If they have the medallions, each medallion will add one more adept scroll, but I'm too lazy to micromanage their growth right now, so let's begin the ritual and we will get a bunch of those scrolls. Let's go. And there is a trick. If you get a student that you want to get and you want to replace one of your staff, it's not really a trick, it's a game mechanics, but you might not know about that. You can retire one of your staff. That will remove them from the game. You will get more scrolls for that, and you will free up one space, and after that getting the new member higher staff will cost less for you and will be easier to do. So overall, that's how you will manage your team, basically. Same with the students. If you get 4 students, the 5th one will be really hard to summon. Right now, in order to summon new students, we need 2 staff members, and it will take 2 hours. Once we will get rid of one of the students, it will be easier. Let's summon them away. Come on, guys. There we go, they're gone. And now, in order to summon the student, we need to wait only 30 minutes, and we need only 1 staff member. So what I do, I make cycles of students. First we create Wand 1 group, release them, we get the scrolls, then we create Wand 2 group of the specific type of spells that we need, because those will get level 4 main attribute. Then with those guys, we try to work on their medallions and everything, so they will get most bonuses, like we had here with the Matteo. Look at how many bonuses he had. That's powerful, right? And we hire them in our team, and actually Matteo replaced one of my previous members that were sent away. Right now I would like to send Boris away, because we got 2 water staff, we don't need that, and replace them with someone else, but we need to prepare for that as well. So that's how you play the game. You gradually become better at every area, replacing your staff, replacing your students and everything, and going through the research. As you unlock new buildings, you will be able to create more stuff. Furniture here is really important. I actually wanted to do the teaching. We wanted to make them chalkboard for the class so the students will study faster, but yeah, it takes a while. So make sure that you have one of each crafting station, garden and everything, so you know how it works, that you have some production of stuff going next to your base, that it's efficient. And by the way, since this takes a lot of time, it requires nature skill to harvest. You would like to get high nature fellas in your team, because they will allow you to do this so much faster than your normal guys. Outside of that, take it slow, enjoy the game and learn it as you go. I will make more guides, but I think this beginner guide will help you to start the game properly, so you will have all the basics settled up, that you will not die out of hunger, you know how to manage your guys, your base and everything. But yeah, putting everything else in the same guide will take way too long. So yeah, let me know what you think of this guide down below in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to see more videos on city builders, colony sims and other management games. Check out the video description for my other YouTube channel, social media and Discord, where we can discuss all that stuff. And yeah, have a good one. It's been Stan Kosh. Bye.